Hello to all you beautiful people of the internet. Welcome to another Caterpillar file. I'm sorry for the last one. It took so many breaks in between the speaking. I am trying, okay? I don't plan this. I have to improvise because I hate scripted stuff and so much. So this time we are looking at the Hilltop residents, just the minor ones, but they are notable. You'll remember their faces. So the first one is called Ken. He is male, his hair is black, he is late 20s to early 30s, but we don't know what his job was before. We don't know his life before the apocalypse, but he might have lived in Washington. In the volume A New Beginning, in uncharted territory, Ken is riding one of the Hilltop's horses with Marco when the duo come across a pack of wild horses. Marco urges Ken that the two should head back, but Ken, eager to bring the horses back to the hilltop, heads off in a rush to try and wrangle the horses. When hurrying too much, Ken manages to plough through several roamers, causing the horse to crash. The horse dies from the crash and nearly gets himself killed as well. What an idiot. As Ken struggles to lift the dead horse, who is on his leg, one of the roamers tries crawling to him but is killed as Marco catches up to him. He manages to get the horse off of Ken's leg as more of the undead begin to appear. The man helps Ken onto his horse and the two ride off. As they do, Ken groans out how much his leg hurts, which Marco responds that he really needs to worry about how angry Maggie Green will be after finding out they lost a horse. Ken and Marco are riding horseback on a horseback in a plain field. Ken appears ill and falls off the horse, claiming he cannot go any further. Marco then climbs off the horse to assist Ken. As they talk, the horse gallops away and roamers begin to close in. The duo attempts to catch up with the horse as Ken wonders what the sound of the roamers really is. After Marco is rescued, he confirms that he had left Ken in a barn on a hill to die. Dante's group later discovers some of Ken's belongings, including his hat inside a barn. It is unknown what happens to him until issue 138. In the volume Whispers into Screams, Marco mentions Ken and tells Paul Monroe what happened to him. Ken is later traded in issue 138 along with Dante for Lydia at the Hilltop. He is later checked on by Harlan Carson. I haven't mentioned him yet, sorry. Probably have. In the issue Life and Death, during the fair, Ken is lured off the fairgrounds by his former captor Alpha and she decapitates him. She then puts his head on a wooden pike and allows him to turn. Rick, Carl, Lydia, Dante, Andrea, and Michonne find his head and 11 other on the pikes. And then in the next volume, No Turning Back, he is put down. So, what did you guys think of Ken? Let me know in the comments down below. If you had control over his fate, what would you do with the story? Moving on. Next, we're looking at Oscar. He is male, his hair is brown, he is late 20s to early 30s, but we don't know what his job was before, or much about his life before the outbreak. In the volume All Out War Part 2, much is unknown about Oscar, but he is seen as a well-known member of the Hilltop community and a pleasant man, offering food to Maggie and Andrea as they sit at the steps of the Hilltop mansion. As the Saviors infiltrate the Hilltop's wall, he hides in the Hilltop mansion. In the volume Whispers into Screams, Oscar is seen watching Maggie breaking in a horse, and is seen by Maggie to take her back to the stables. Later, when Paul Monroe rides into the Hilltop colony with an injured Darius, yelling for Carson, Oscar comes running along with Earl Sutton and helps Darius off the horse and takes him to Dr. Carson. When Carl appears with an injured Sophia, who was beaten by the bullies, He helps Maggie carry her in the medical facility. Oscar later informs Maggie that the Whisperers have found their way to the Hilltop colony and are outside the gates. In the volume Life and Death, sorry about that, Oscar is among those helping in the search for Carl and assists Maggie at her desk. He would later assist Paul Monroe in taking down Gregory's body from the tree after watching him being hanged for his attempt on Maggie's life. At the fair, he is led away from the crowd and killed by Alpha. So that was Oscar. I felt like this was a pretty sad death because Oscar was really nice. As shown, it was really, really sad. Let me know what you think about Oscar. Was his adaptation in the TV series worth it? Let me know in the comments down below. And moving on to the next one. So this is the last one. His name is Roland. He is male. His hair is blonde. He is from 12 to 14 years old. And he is a blacksmith apprentice after the apocalypse. We don't know what his life was before, but probably lived a good life as a child. In the volume A New Beginning, Roland had been Earl's apprentice for at least a week before Rick and Carl arrived at Hilltop. As Earl introduces Roland, who is wielding wood through the rain, Roland greets Carl, and Earl mentions that the two are around the same age, so they should get along, but Carl quickly runs away. In the volume Life and Death, Roland watches Gregory's execution with Earl. He later listens as Maggie explains she doesn't want to do this again. In the volume No Turning Back, Roland is among the crowd that listens to Rick's speech. At the end of the speech, he chants Rick Grimes repeatedly along with the other residents. After all this, even after the 23-year time skip, we never see him again. But honestly, it's going to be sad. I think he died during the Whisperer War. I think he passed away. Yeah, I am not seeing Roland making out of it at all. So let me know what you thought of Roland. What would you do if you controlled his fates? Well, let me know what you know of all these characters. Thank you very much for listening. If you like these videos, please like and subscribe. We're really close to 30k. Not 30k, 30 subscribers. Sorry. Going up way off there. We're close to 30 subscribers. And I like 30k as well, but you know. And have a good day.